Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope everybody had a great Sunday. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're been here before, welcome back. If you're watching the replay, it's good to have you. I'm the Queen, and this is the Queen of Ohio. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. It is still really hot, but I wanted to come outside and try to enjoy some fresh air. It is still really hot, really humid out here. So just thought I would check in and see how it's going, see what everybody's been up to and been doing, and what's going on the YouTube streets. I don't know if the birds are going to be too loud of a background noise for everybody. So make sure you hit that thumbs up and the like and subscribe and all the things. Get you a glass of tea, whatever you're drinking on. Make sure you're drinking something, because it is too hot not to be drinking. So, what have you been watching this weekend? There's some kind of bug in here. Looks like a wasp. So if I start screaming, don't be alarmed. I have been watching about this missing child in Ohio, and I generally try to stay away from the missing kid cases. I mean, we all know I like to watch the court cases on TV, but I generally try not to get too caught up in the missing kid or missing people in general cases, but this one really grabbed my attention last night, and I've seen that several of the YouTubers are covering it out of Ohio. Hey, must have got some notifications sent out. Hey, Diamond Girl. Hey, Eileen. Hey, Jenny. How's everybody doing? Y'all having a good weekend? Having a good Sunday? Welcome. Jenny, I believe I made you a mod so you could drop your the link of your channel. If y'all haven't subscribed to Jenny's channel, make sure you go over there. She does all kinds of great things. She does makeup, unboxings, shopping hauls from Amazon, the Dollar Tree, all kinds of great stuff. I will tell you, Jenny, I went shopping this week to get a huge stock pot to make spaghetti sauce out of, and I also was looking for the Dutch oven that you have. You're welcome. The Dutch oven that you have that you make the bread in. And I was telling my husband all about your bread recipe and how I need that Dutch oven or a Dutch oven that you can put the lid on and stick both parts in the oven to make that bread recipe. So y'all make sure you go over and check out Jenny Lee's channel and check out her bread recipe. It's really easy. It looks really easy. I haven't made it yet, but I really want to. I really want to make bread because I love bread. Who doesn't love bread? Who doesn't love carbs, right? I mean, we know I'm all about eating over here. I mean, I talk about food every time I come on. So, what's everybody been up to this weekend? What's everybody been doing today? Have y'all been outside? I was just talking about how it's still really hot out here. It's really humid. Y'all are fixing to see, like, sweat pour off the Queen. I subscribe, Jenny. Well, I am sure she is very grateful, Diamond Girl. She does a lot of cool things over there. She has a garden. She is. Hey, MTT, how are you doing? I seen your hair today. I just briefly jumped on Anna Marie's channel when I got out of church, and I happened to be able to see your hair, and I think it looks good. I thought it looked really good. So, MTT, drop your link in the chat in Crafting with Mother Teresa. Y'all make sure you subscribe to her. She does all kinds of fun stuff. Let me tell y'all, I bought this shirt. It says I'm a little bit namaste and a little bit no effing way. I bought this shirt like 2 years ago, and then I lost it at my friend's house, and then I went to go spend the night with her and found it in the guest room, and I was so happy because I don't even think I ever got to wear it. So, and actually a friend of mine made this shirt, and I bought it from her. So she is crafty as well, my friend Crystal. So I was so excited about it because I was so excited when I ordered it, and then I never got to wear it. So Jenny says, I've been in the garden all day and preparing for late summer fall and had an amazing dinner and really enjoyed the weekend. I hope everyone else had a great weekend. Oh, well, that sounds nice. I did. I didn't really cook this weekend. My husband grilled out steaks yesterday, and today we kind of cheated and we got like a rack of ribs that was already cooked from the deli, and like a thing of already made potato salad and some buttered garlic bread that all I had to do was heat up. Fall, late summer, that's like swear words. MTT's not ready for fall at all. Fall is one of my favorite seasons. Fall is one of my favorite seasons. I really enjoy the fall. There doesn't seem to be much of a spring anymore. It's like goes straight into being really summery, if that's a word. But I enjoy the fall. Yeah, but a lot of times it goes from being like, especially here in the South, it goes from being like really, really super hot to just, cold. So, yeah, me too, Jenny. I absolutely love the fall. I love it. Yeah. Me too. Me too. I love the fall too. Yeah. Hey, Sassy Susie. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Hey, Insat. Good to see you. Yeah, fall lasts 2 weeks and then it's freezing. Yes, I've seen all the snow y'all get up there, so I'm sure. Diamond Girl says she's been missing a lot of streams, been at the hospital with her daughter most of the time, been trying to catch her replays, so Jenny and I probably for a while be catching your replays. Well, that's fine. Replays are fine. I appreciate you watching the replays. I hope you're feeling better today, Susie. I seen you last night on Jules. It was good seeing you. It wasn't good seeing you heated, but it was good seeing you. Yeah, you don't have fall out in Arizona. Yeah, I hope your daughter's okay too, Diamond. Sassy says, I'm okay. Took the dogs for vaccines. Poor puppies. Yes, my husband took ours last Saturday or Saturday before last when I was in Nashville to get all caught up on their shots and stuff. And all the heartworm and the flea and tick. And, I mean, having dogs is just like having kids. I mean, you have to, like, keep up with their shot records and yeah, it seems like they go to the vet just as much as the kids do. Sassy Susie says, I was not happy. I'm over it today. Yeah, I just caught the the end of it. I flip around a lot. So I just caught the end of it. So I don't know. I'm I'm sure I can guess what it was about. Um, it sure is, especially a puppy, like having a toddler, they get into everything. Yes, they get into everything. Well, we got, if you follow me on IG, you've seen the picture. We got our big dog, like a bone that's like this big. And so it's been so funny seeing him carry that bone around the house and seeing the little dog, which everyone thought was a cat the other day in the stream. They were like, a cat's behind you. And I was like, a cat's behind me. It was my little dog. Um, but yeah, so this huge bone has brought us so much entertainment. But the pets are a lot of company, especially if you're the only one home, which I am a lot. So, oh my gosh, I want a puppy so bad. Oh, I bet your kids would love a puppy, Jenny, but they're a lot of work. It's I like them, like, but not in the puppy stage, like after they're housebroken. That was one good thing about ours. We're older and we got them from a rescue, so they were already, housebroken. So that was a good thing. And a horse and a chicken. This guy has a duck, and he like shows his ducks on the live stream. And so, but yeah, I was telling my husband though, I was like, the bad thing about having like livestock, like horses and chickens and stuff, though, is that you really never can go out of town, because it's one thing to like board your dogs, but then that it's a lot harder to find someone to come feed your cows and horses and stuff. MTT says, I ordered a new clipper set today. My dogs need a haircut so bad. My clippers broke. Oh, yeah, because you got that big dog. Sassy says, I get upset easily, but I don't let that stuff linger. Okay, so I'm like the first person that will say good morning to you, and then I'm the first person that will snap off at you, but then I get over it really quick. So I don't know if that's a good trait or not, but I mean, I'm the first person that'll let you know you effed up, but I get over it. I mean, I love you anyway. I mean, if I love you, I love you. If you're my friend, you're my friend. But yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, who's going to come? Like, we don't even know anybody to come feed our dogs. So who would we get to come feed our horses and chickens and cows? Oh, and lions, oh my. Oh, he doesn't get haircuts. It's the spaniels. Oh, okay. Everybody's saying hi to each other. I made chicken pad thai. Sounds good. My husband's going out of town, so I'm going to eat Chinese food for 4 days. That's my plan. I'm going to have Chinese takeout for 4 days because he doesn't really care for Chinese takeout, because he lived in Korea and Japan for several years before we met. So it's not so good to him. And so it's fake. So yeah, so that's my plan this week, is to eat Chinese takeout until I swell up and can't take the MSG anymore. And not cooking is my jam. Yeah. I mean, why would I cook for one person? Like, it's hard enough cooking for just two of us. Susie, I really tried with you. That sounds good, MTT. Yeah. My husband's really good at grilling. Like, he'll grill us stuff. And he did make the side item yesterday. He made rice. So, a full farm is my dream, and I plan to have a full farm in 10 years and a flower garden for miles and vegetables. Yeah. Garden is a lot of work. My front flower bed needs weeding really bad. And it's really hard for me to get down with my back and weed it. And it's been so hot. I love, Ann Sat says, I love Chinese food. Pregnant with my first child. I hate Chinese. I ate Chinese. I think that's what she's supposed to say. Chinese every day, and I thought she would come out Asian. Yeah. Sassy says, I hope I get my southern accent back when I move. I miss it. I love yours, Queen. Aw, thank you. My husband says, like, every third or fourth word, I'll get real country on him. So it just depends. I think I've noticed since we've moved here, I have gotten even more country. Jenny says, it's a shit ton of work, but it's crazy. I'm a city girl and moved to the country 12 years ago and absolutely love it here. Yeah, we moved from Nashville, and I lived in the city to here, and we live, it's, we live an hour outside of Huntsville, so I call it country living. It's definitely country living for me. We have neighbors, but it's definitely not what I'm used to. So yeah, it's different. It's different. We plan on moving closer to Huntsville where there's more diversity. But yeah, it's beautiful down here. It's beautiful, and there's a huge lake, and I love it down here for the most part. Sometimes the people are sometimes I feel like I've stepped into the 1950s, but not going to like everything about everywhere. You're not going to like everyone you meet. So, just do what you can, right? Jenny says, I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, and lived city life. LOL, it was a huge change in adapting, but wouldn't go back now. Right? Well, I say this. If someone would have told me, 10 years ago, or, I guess 10 years ago at this point, you're going to get married and move to Alabama, I would have been like, what are you sipping on? Because I would have been like, no way. So, you never know. You never know where you're going to end up. And that's why I tell my kids they shouldn't get tattoos on their neck or face. Or really, in certain places. Because you never know where you're going to end up in life. So, that's advice my mom gave me. You never know where you're going to end up in life. Although now it's more acceptable to have tattoos anywhere, really, but I still wish, I still pray that my kids won't get tattoos on their face or neck. But that might be a different live stream. Just my personal preference. But I will love them no matter where they get tattoos at. If you're watching this, I still love you. Still love you. And I know. That's all I'm going to say about that. Parenting's hard sometimes. Do you know what's even harder than parenting? Co-parenting. Yeah, I don't know how many of you co-parent, but let me tell you that co-parenting is hard. My grandmother said the same thing. She wasn't happy with me, and I'm not either anymore. Yeah, I have tattoos. I have 4 of them, and it's like my aunt's older than me, and she got a tattoo on her arm, like right here, and I'm like absolutely shocked because I never thought, my aunt would get a tattoo where it's visible. She has other tattoos, in other places, but And she's who took me to get all my tattoos. But when she got the one on her arm where you could see, I was just like shocked. But I mean, it's more acceptable now. I mean, it's not as taboo as it used to be. But um, I just it's permanent. It's permanent, and uh, your taste changes, right? It's like wearing the same T-shirt. T-shirt that's your favorite T-shirt at 18 might not be your favorite T-shirt at 40. That's all I'm saying. Hey, SM. SM says, hey, everyone. Hope you're having a great night. I think we are. I'm having a pretty good night. Just talking about the weekend and about the heat. And everybody's on here to watch me sweat. MTT says, I have 0. My children all have tattoos. I paid for their first when they turned 18, except for the middle. She came home at 16 with one. Lost my marbles on her. Well, MTT, I can understand and relate about the 16-year-old. I can relate. Did her other parent sign for it? Just a random question. You don't have to answer. But you know, the most important thing is that they're safe and healthy, and thank goodness it was appropriate. That's also another, I got my first tattoo when I was 17, SM says. I worked all summer as a waitress. My mom went with me and signed for it. She said since I worked hard, I could get it, and all I got was a shamrock on my hip. Then I've gotten 4 more, and I took deep thought into each one before I got it. Yeah, it takes a lot of thought. Diamond Girl says, can y'all tell I can't see? Diamond Girl says, I have 0, but my son has some. I would not let him get them where he wanted, but he thanks me now with his profession. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. That's what I mean when you'll never know where you'll end up in life. But, I have so much to say, although I'm going to restrain myself. Susie, you have any? Susie, you have any tattoos? Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, I've got like no one's asking me, but I'm a chicken shit. MTT says. Well, it's like both of my boys wanted to get their ears pierced, and I let them. And I thought that was being like a cool parent. Because, like, I thought that was okay. But I said I wouldn't sign for them to get anything else pierced or tattooed or anything before they turned 18. I said you have to wait if you want anything else done until you're 18. And I thought that was, I thought that was okay. I was like, if you want anything else done, just wait until you're 18. See, I'm not alone. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of adults that don't have tattoos. My husband has one, and he doesn't like needles at all. So I'm shocked he has the one, and it's like pretty big on his forearm. So, I mean, it depends where you get them, but if anybody told you they don't hurt, they lied. I mean, it doesn't hurt after you sit there for a while, but because it goes numb, but depending on where you got it. Yeah. So, is anybody watching any good series on TV or a streaming service? I need something to watch this week. Eileen says she has two. I have my kids' first initials, one on my foot, one on my back. But anyway, I was saying before, the missing boy in Ohio that they were talking about, and the mother knows the people that he's with, and let me know if anybody else has been hearing about this. The kid's name is Austin Lauer, I think, and it's in Ohio, and he's been gone for a week, and he walked out of his friend's house, and supposedly this woman that's a friend of the family picked him up. Has anybody heard this story or seen this case? And he's autistic, and so he's not on his medicine. And so the woman has been on like several YouTube channels. Yeah, the police haven't really been covering it, but the woman has been on like several YouTube channels. And I don't know if any of you watch any of the Crama channels or the, true crime channels. I have been out of the loop, so not watching much. Yeah, I watched some of the Crama channels. Last night she was on Crama Mama, and then I seen today another channel that I watch that's like ICKMEL or something like that. And she was on that one Saturday. But I don't, it seems very odd. But the reason it got my attention is because it's a 12-year-old boy that's autistic. It has behavioral issues, and he just walked out the door. And because he walked out the door, they won't put out an Amber Alert, because he wasn't abducted. He's considered a runaway. And the mom wants them to put out a silver alert, because I guess they can put out a silver alert if you're supposed to be on medicine and you disappear, or I guess if you're medically challenged in some way. I'm not real sure how the silver alerts work. I actually thought a silver alert was just for the senior citizens. But I guess if you're medically challenged or medically compromised in any way, they can put out a silver alert, but they haven't issued a silver alert for him either. But yeah, but it's kind of interesting and scary all in one. But they used to live next to these people, so they were neighbors, and then they moved. So she feels like this woman had been grooming her son. Yeah, it's scary. She feels like this woman had been grooming her son, and her son calls this woman Mama Bear. It's just, it got my attention because I have an 11-year-old son, and it's just a lot of things about it I could relate to. So I was just like, oh my goodness, what would I do if, that happened to me? And the woman is, trying to work with all these agencies, and it seems like they won't help her. And he was in residential care, and they could no longer provide treatment for him. And that's why he was at home and was waiting for the next place to be able to take him. And so he was home for a week. And that's when he walked out. He was at a friend's house. And that's when he walked out and disappeared. But she was saying when she filed the police report, they didn't even ask for a current picture of him. They wouldn't go to the neighbor's house and ask to check their cameras. That he had unplugged all the cameras in the friend's house that he was at. And I can totally relate to that because my son does that. We have cameras in our house, and his dad has cameras, and he will unplug the cameras if he can. Or he learned how to reset the cameras. So it's just, yeah, it's sad because there's so many missing kids, and it just makes you wonder that, you know, the police, how hard do they really look for kids that they consider runaways or that are abducted? Eileen says, I haven't heard it. Diamond Girl says, I have been out of the loop, so not watching much. Eileen says, huge true crime fan, but I haven't had time to watch lately. Yikes, how horrible. Yeah, it is scary. It is scary. Because, I mean, that's somebody's kid. That's, you know, that's somebody's kid, and it just kind of makes you, you know, it just makes you think about, like, you know, what if that was me, and what would I do in that instance? And the police won't even go to this woman's house, and they said they can't get a warrant to search this woman's house, and the mom is saying that she's afraid that if her son is there, she doesn't, and this woman has 5 kids, that she doesn't want her son to hurt any of the other kids. Because he's a harm to himself and others, especially not medicated, and that she doesn't want him to start feeling trapped because the woman won't let him leave, and end up hurting himself or one of the other kids because this woman won't let him leave. It's just but then of course, who is always the first suspect when a child goes missing? The parents. So, you're sitting there and you're watching this and you're like, well, you don't want to think that the parents had anything to do with it. But then you're thinking, well, have the police cleared the woman whose house that he was at visiting the friend? And have they cleared the mother? And which, I mean, I'm sure you've all heard of the Summers Wells case. And, of course, people are still talking about that every day. I mean, there was a whole, YouTube community created off of that missing child case. Diamond Girl says, since he is autistic, this is so different. How can they not make an exception? Exactly. She said he is autistic. He is ADHD. He has emotional regulation disorder. He is ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder. He had been in residential treatment, and he was a liability, and they could no longer care for him. And that's why he was at home in her care until a higher level of care facility could take him. So, I mean, this isn't a child that needs to be out anywhere with this woman on the streets. I mean, anywhere. And she said, even though he's on the autistic spectrum, and that he was able to, distract his friend enough to get her phone to have contact with this woman so that he could tell her where he was to come pick him up. But like when he had ran away before, he didn't put any shoes on. And I can relate to that. Like I know I have experience with that. You know, these kids can be very mindful and intelligent in some ways, and then in other ways they are lacking. And people that don't, that haven't worked with kids that have behavioral disorders, or if you don't know someone like that, it's hard to understand, because just presenting themselves, they may appear to be just a normal, you know, kid until something sets them off, and then they can be a threat, and especially not medicated. But you know, that right there, just when, you know, she said he was, you know, he was smart enough to be able to manipulate the friend to distract her enough to get her phone to make contact with the woman. But, you know, the simple things like not wearing shoes and stuff like that. But it's scary. It's scary that, you know, the people that we expect to protect us, and then that they might not be there for us. And I'm by no means trying to, you know, the police do a lot of things for us. I just was very interested in that case. I do too. Without his meds, he can hurt himself or others. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I, hopefully, you know, with her getting some, I don't know if publicity is the right word, but hopefully she can get something done. Because like I said, the mainstream news media hadn't really picked it up, but she's gotten a lot of attention on YouTube. So I guess people are now calling and advocating for her. And she said some elected official had come to her house. So hopefully she can get something done now. Could the person who took the child think she was saving the kid? The story seems like it was a lot of twists and turns. Yeah, she may think. So, so the mother said that this woman had took the kid before and refused to give him back. And the mom went to get him, and finally he came out willingly. The lady that was holding him was telling her to get off her property and stuff, and so finally the kid came out willingly and went with his mother. So this had happened before. But yeah, the mother seems to think that this woman has been grooming the child, like telling Austin, you know, they can't love you like we love you, and they don't understand you. And I'm not real sure. I don't know. The mom just kept saying grooming. So I don't know if there's other things going on. And she said her son had been inappropriate on the internet. So I don't know if there's other inappropriate activity going on. 12 is kind of, I don't know if those of you that have boys know that 12 is a interesting age. So, yeah, but just please, you know, send out good vibes and prayers and you know, whatever you do, for that family and for that young boy to find his way home or somewhere safe. You know, the mom is saying that, you know, he needs to go to the hospital so he can get his meds regulated, because, you know, he'll need to get back on them and get stabilized and stuff. So let's just pray that he gets in, that he's safe, and that he gets, gets back to a safe place where he should be. So the sister was saying that he had been in residential treatment for a year. So that he had just been coming home, I guess, on visits, on passes. Hopefully he's been taken care of properly and not being abused. Yeah, hopefully. This woman has 5 other kids in her care, if that's where he is. So, I mean, who really knows? But yeah, I just hope he gets back, safe and nothing happens. And it would be a tragedy for this child to do something while he's not medicated, and then he would have to suffer the consequences of his actions. The mom seems, really, she doesn't seem as worried about his safety being with these people as much as him not having his medicine. I mean, she's concerned about him being with these people and that he shouldn't be there, but she honestly just seems concerned about, that he doesn't have his medicine. I mean, she's mad that these people have him, but I don't know. It's sad, but it touched me because, like I said, I can relate on a personal level, and I just didn't know if any of you had seen it, if you watched any of the YouTubers that have been covering it, because I'd seen it on a couple of different channels. So, but anyway, I think I'm going to get off of here. It is definitely still very hot, but I will be back in the morning. And I hope you all have a wonderful night, and we will be back in the morning for Motivational Monday, and I'll talk about what we're grateful for and what our plans are for the week, what we're motivated to do, and yeah, guess that's about it. I have no idea what my motivation for the week is. I have no clue. Do want to remind everybody, this is Lasagna Love's big week. Friday is National Lasagna Day. So if you know someone that would enjoy a homemade lasagna, maybe they are ill or can't get out of the house or just need a pick-me-up, you can request a lasagna. If you would like to volunteer, donate money. Maybe you have another skill. Maybe you're good at graphic design, Canva, have the ability to do administrative duties, event planning, anything like that. Go to lasagnalove.org. All the information's on there. There's a lot of things that you could do. Of course, it's all online. The making the lasagna is not, but they set you up with people in your community. It's very flexible. But yeah, we're trying to feed 10,000 families in 10 days and sign up 1,000 new volunteers. So, lasagnalove.org. So, thank you all. Thank you for joining me. Y'all have a wonderful night. And remember, do something nice for yourself and do something nice for someone else. Y'all have a good night. Bye.